right, so this is the first video for week 2, day 2. So make sure that you're watching this before we have class on the second day of week 2. We are starting off on page 8 of our guided collaborative notes and looking at the multiplication and division of integers. So first, to get a couple rules going here, we are going to do the operation as if the numbers are positive. So just like in previous math experiences, we're just going to pretend that everything's positive. But then we figure out what is the sign, and the rule for that is that if the signs are the same, the answer is positive. If the signs of the original numbers are different, then the answer is negative. So another way to think about that is that if we have a positive number times a negative number, that is always going to give us a negative answer. And if I have either a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative, that is going to give me a positive answer. And it doesn't matter what the number is. It doesn't matter what the number's absolute values are. That is only a concern when we are looking at adding and subtracting. So in this way, multiplication and division is a little easier because we just do the multiplication or division as if the numbers are positive and then decide if the signs are the same, it's a positive answer. If the signs are different, it is a negative answer. Now, occasionally we will have lots of negative signs. So for those, if you have an odd number of negative signs, you are going to have a negative answer because they don't all cancel each other out. So, for example, if I had 3 negative numbers, 2 of those would cancel each other out and become positive, but we leave that oddball last one, which is going to leave us with a negative answer. If we have an even number of negative signs, we are going to have a positive answer. So if we have, for example, positives. All right, sorry about that. Quick change up there. All right, so if we have an even number of negative signs, each pair of those will cancel out and become positive, leaving us with a positive answer overall. When we were going from addition to subtraction, we talked about rewriting subtraction as adding the opposite. And something very similar happens with multiplication, that division and multiplication are inverse operations, which means division can be rewritten as multiplication, just like subtraction can be written as addition. And in symbols, what that's saying is that if I have a number, that b times that number has to equal a. So if I have a divided by b equals x, then that also means if I say b times x, that better equal a. Now, that does not work when b equals 0. For example, if I have 2 over 0 equals 3. All right, well, that can't work because the definition of multiplication says that, well, I should be able to say 0 times 3 then equals 2. Well, we can't have something multiplied by 0 that ends up being anything other than 0. So this does not work if we have a 0 in the denominator. And that is why dividing by 0 is undefined. It means it is not allowed by this definition of multiplication and division and how they work together. All right, flipping to page 9. Oh, let's see here. I am going to do just a couple of these. And then I do want to focus mostly on looking at these in class. So we are on page 9, but I am going to skip around here a little bit. We'll do a couple here, and then we'll look at some more in class. All right, so -3 times 5. So the signs are different. So that automatically means my answer is going to be negative. So then I just pretend it's 3 times 5. So -15. Now, notice here that parentheses mean multiplication. In this case, equal multiplication. Also, the dot equals multiplication. So, big thing here, though, do not use X for multiplication anymore. X is now going to be a variable. That means it's going to be representing some unknown number, and you can't use it for multiplication anymore. So we are either going to be using the dot to represent that, or we're going to be using parentheses to imply multiplication. So if I see two things next to one another in parentheses, those things are being multiplied. And with that one, that -5 times -8, the signs are the same. They're both negative, so that will become a positive answer. And 5 times 8 is 40. So positive 40 for that one. Occasionally, you will have a 0 in there, and we have to remember that anything multiplied by 0, multiplying by 0 is no problem at all. In this one with -14 times 0, so that will just be 0. Anything times 0 is 0. And let's look at these guys. These are ones that tend to be a little bit of an issue for people. So just a quick reminder on these. If it's in parentheses, the entire thing is being used as a chunk. So this is saying I want to do -8 times -8. All right, my power is 2, so I'm going to have 2 of whatever that thing is in the parentheses. But you can see that now we have an even number of negative signs. So those negative signs will actually cancel one another out, giving me 64. Now that doesn't happen over here because when I have no parentheses there, this is really saying -1 times 8 squared. And order of operations always tells us to do the exponent first and then deal with any multiplication. So that -1 hangs out front, then we multiply it by 64. So that first expression will give us a -64. This one is going to be a positive 64. So with the parentheses here around that whole thing, it ends up canceling out those negative signs and becomes a positive value. And notice it's because we have even powers here, they end up being different. If I have odd powers, like in the next two that I have, so this one would be -8 times -8 times -8. So I've got 3 of those. It is a an odd number of negative signs, so we will end up with a negative answer, and then that's 8 times 8 times 8, so 8 times 64, which should be 324. But let me double check my calculator here fast. No, 512, pardon me. 512, okay, there we go. So 512, and that one will be negative. Now, if we look at the one that does not have the parentheses, so remember we're going to think about that as -1 times that 8 cubed and take care of that exponent first and then multiply by the -1. So I have -1 times 512, but I still have an odd number of negative signs. I've only got 1 here. I had 3 over here, but I only have 1 here. it still gives me a negative 512. So with even powers, these two expressions will be different. With odd powers, these two expressions end up being the same because the negatives don't cancel out like they do in this situation. So with odd powers, they will be the same. Even powers, they are not. And, okay, last couple of things on this one, and we'll start looking at properties of addition. So dividing the real numbers if possible. So still using the same rule that we used for multiplication. If the signs are the same, my answer is going to be positive. If the signs are different, it's going to be negative. Then we've got a couple thrown in there with zeros that we need to be careful of. So, all right, so that first one, 60 divided by negative 3. So 60 divided by 3 is 20, but it will be negative because the signs were different. 56, negative 56 divided by negative 8. It's just the same as 56 divided by 8 because those negative signs will cancel out, and we would just get a positive 7 there. One after that, we have a negative divided by a positive. The signs are different, so my answer will be negative. 15 divided by 5, 3, so negative 3. And the last one there on that row, negative 84 divided by negative 4. So both negative, so this will be a positive answer. And then 84 divided by 4 is going to be a positive 21. And you can use your calculator for this if you need it, or go off to the side and do a quick, all right, what is 84 divided by 4? Well, 4 can divide into that twice. Subtract that off. Bring the 4 down. 4 goes into 4 one time, minus 4, and then we get a 0. So it divides evenly. These last two, you do want to be very careful with. So 0 in the numerator is fine. This is just going to be equal to 0. Numerator is fine. The denominator is bad. Okay, so this is the one that is going to be undefined. That is the word you're going to use to represent that answer. It's because you cannot divide by 0. And this is the big math no-no. This is the thing that we're going to be trying to avoid, and actually, especially in Math 40, we're going to be looking at some of the steps we have to take to solve different problems are going to be specifically to avoid dividing by 0. So it is important to remember which one is okay. 0 in the numerator is fine. 0 in the denominator, so dividing by 0, not okay. The big math no-no we are trying to avoid. All right, I am going to break here, and we will pick up in the second video for the addition properties. So we will look at page 10 when we come back.